Thank you, Mark. Plenty more fish in the sea for Chris Sutton to wax lyrical about at Selhurst Park this evening. You can hear the atmosphere. It's absolutely jumping in southeast London for a game between these two great rivals, Crystal Palace and Brighton. And what's so exciting about it in particular is that Brighton, in their peppermint green away kit this evening, have the chance to do something they have never achieved as a club before. They can go top of the top flight tonight if they win this game. They've won 4 out of 5 so far this season. Win this one, they will move a point above Liverpool and 2 points above Manchester City, Chelsea and Manchester United. 2 changes for each team. Luka Milivojevic comes in for Cheku Kouyaté. Odsonne Edouard makes his first start for Crystal Palace up front. Christian Benteke drops to the bench. Kouyaté is also on the bench. And for Brighton, Yves Bissouma is missing from central midfield. Pascal Gross, having recovered from COVID, is in for him. And Big Dan Burns, 6'7" tall, comes in to the defence. Just looking at where he's actually lining up early on in this game, because I've written them down as a back three. I think that's what it's going to be. Duffy, Dunk and Byrne. Crystal Palace against Brighton is underway, and as we expected, Chris Sutton, it's a fantastic atmosphere, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I don't know whether we call this a derby game or not. Well, look, I'm going to call it a derby game.
It's a rivalry, Chris.
Well, I think a lot of fans would disagree. Some would agree, some would disagree. But what we do know is this is going to be contested strongly from both teams. And we talk about Brighton, but I've been impressed with Palace at the start of the season. One of my tips for relegation, Crystal Palace under Patrick Vieira. I was concerned really about the changeover from Roy Hodgson and a change of the brand of football, but I think they've had a pretty decent start, all things considered.
Minute in, 0-0. I'll give you the 2 team lineups in just a second. We'll get Chris Sutton's tales of playing against Patrick Vieira as well later in the commentary, but the new Crystal Palace manager is already out on the sidelines, looking suave in a blue puffer jacket, hands in pockets, and Crystal Palace on the ball for him just inside the Brighton half. They are in the red and blue diagonally striped shirts, blue shorts with the red trim and blue socks with the red tops. Good battling in midfield here by Mark Gahey, signed from Chelsea in the summer. Not only did well to win the ball, but kept it and played a good pass. Conor Gallagher on the ball on the halfway line. MacArthur comes back into central defence. Joachim Andersen, long ball forward. Zaha jumped for it. It's run to Tyrick Mitchell, the 22-year-old. Just drifts out to the left. Zaha plays a first-time ball into the corner of the penalty area. Early Palace possession here at Selhurst Park. Gallagher down by the byline, looks to win a corner and does that as Shane Duffy blocks the cross.
Yep, Conor Gallagher, he's had an impressive start to the season for Crystal Palace. They play in the attacking midfield role. Palace set up as a 4-3-3. In Brighton they have gone to 3 centre-halves.
So first corner of the game goes to Crystal Palace. 2.5 minutes in. Milivojevic is going to take it with his right foot. First Premier League start of the season for him. Headed out. Conor Gallagher stretches to control a bouncing ball. Plays it back to Joel Ward. Joel Ward swings out a diagonal to the left wing. Milivojevic drives in a cross on the half volley. It's blocked by Joel Veltman and goes out for a throw into Crystal Palace. Are you happy with the volume now?
Yeah, okay now, yeah.
Okay, good. Because just before we came on air there, you turned my volume up in my headphones and almost deafened me. Where you couldn't actually hear a thing. Here's MacArthur for Palace to Mitchell. Mitchell trying to dart through a little gap which closes quickly. Zaha's on the ball, right-footed pass to Gallagher. Almost finds MacArthur. Congested area just outside that Brighton penalty area as Palace attack down the left. There's Gahey. Gahey to his fellow centre-back Anderson. Across here to Joel Ward in his 10th season now at Crystal Palace. And here's the Brighton defender with all that long flowing dark hair, Mark Cucurella, who's made a good start to his Brighton career. Good skills from Danny Welbeck, dancing in from the left hand side, tries to find Mopé. Ball hits Mopé on the hand, I think, inside the penalty area. Referee spotted it and gives the free kick to Palace, and then Mopé gets wrestled to the floor by Joachim Andersen and just lies there with his hands out and says, well, referee, you can't do that.
Yeah, Andersen heavy-handed there, unnecessary. A derby game though, these things happen.
That's picking on the little fellas, Chris, that's what that is.
I think Mopé can handle himself. Great driving run from Danny Welbeck on the left-hand side, nutmegs Ward and tries to play a give and go on the left-hand side of the box with Mopay. Ball doesn't get there, and then Mopay, there's a bit of grappling there with Anderson and Mopay.
Palace 0, Brighton 0. Ayew out on the right wing for Crystal Palace, seeing a lot of the ball in attacking areas early in this game. Chris Sutton was saying how much he's been enjoying their football already this season under Patrick Vieira. Last time they were here, they beat Tottenham by 3 goals to 0. Hudson-Edouard came off the bench to score 2. Get your thoughts on him as well, because what can we expect from him? Because you've seen plenty of him playing live, haven't you, Edouard?
Yeah, I mean, I think it is an interesting signing.
He's on the move here. Danny Welbeck sprinting onto the ball down the left. So he's made a couple of good bursts early on. Welbeck plays it back to Cucurella. Adam Lallana gets the first touch of the evening. Dan Burn with his left foot strokes it back to Lewis Dunk. So Duffy is on the right side of this 3-man defence. Then it's Duncan Byrne, Veltman as right wing back, Cucurella as the left wing back. You've got Pascal Gross and Lallana in central midfield, with Trossard and Welbeck in support of Mopay up top. What a touch almost from Trossard, controlling the ball on the volley, and Gahey did brilliantly to hold him off and plays the pass out to Tyrick Mitchell in the left back position. Chris?
Yeah, it's a superb touch from tricky Trossard with his left boot, but he did well, used his strength and eased him out.
Mitchell's floated ball down the left, headed forward by Duffy. Milivojevic chests it down. Crystal Palace have Vicente Guaita in goal, Joel Ward, Joachim Anderson, Mark Gahey and Tyrick Mitchell as the back 4. Milivojevic, Gallagher and James McArthur as their midfield 3. Ayew and Zaha in support of Edouard. Cross in from Mitchell, headed back by Edouard to the edge of the box. Gallagher with a cheeky little back heel, blocked. Cucurella's onto that quickly, plays it to Lallana. He's lost it to Ayew. Ayew dribbles forward, drives a shot with his right foot that spins away off the defender and goes behind for a Crystal Palace corner. Palace 0, Brighton 0.
Yeah, I've got to say I'm just a little bit worried about Brighton's central midfield pairing. Lallana and Gross, they're not the most defensive minded, and Lallana giving the ball away cheaply there. Ayew with the driving run and shot, and another opportunity for Palace from a corner.
6.5 minutes played. Stray balls just bounced into Vicente Guaita's penalty area at the other end of the field. He grabbed it and clutched it, just got a feel of it, and then rolled it off the pitch. Down the other end we go. Corner high towards the far post. Dan Burn is able to power a header away. Here's Mitchell. Good vision from Mitchell. Spots Milivojevic still in space out on that right hand side. Low cross to the near post. Edouard with a touch and a turn. And here's Ayew now. Ayew down by that byline. 2 Brighton defenders on him. Flicks it out to the right with his right foot. Milivojevic is still out there. McArthur's ball beyond everyone inside the penalty area. Beyond Edouard, beyond Gallagher. Still got it though, Palace in an attacking position here. Gallagher onto his right foot, curls the shot, and it's headed away by Lewis Dunk. 4 yards from his own goal line. He prevents Sanchez having to make the save. Palace have another corner.
Terrific, brave defending from Lewis Dunk. I don't know whether this was heading in or not, but Gallagher shifting the ball onto his favoured right foot, the left-hand side of the box, trying to bend it into that far corner. And Dunk, very brave. I think the keeper had it covered.
Corner taken short. Zaha kills it in, straight into the arms of Robert Sanchez, the Brighton goalkeeper, and you can see Graham Potter on the sidelines here with his hand just patting it down in thin air, just saying, calm down. So Palace have made a good start here, Chris.
They have, and I didn't get to tell you about Hudson-Edouard because Brighton were on the attack, but no, he lost his way at Celtic, certainly last season, and at the start of this season missed a few chances, and he wasn't the same player, albeit his numbers were good last season. The season before he was absolutely unbelievable, his goals and his all-round play. His link-up's very, very good. Will look to run in behind, probably aerially. You know, he can improve. He's not as strong in the air as somebody like Benteke, but he's a talented player who looks like he's found his feet early on at Palace. Those 2 goals helping him early on, and no, I think he'll do okay. One to watch.
Got the start tonight. Where's number 22 for Crystal Palace in the central striking position? Dunk chips one forward with his right foot. Joachim Anderson wants Guaita to come for that. Easy for Guaita. The ball had just too much on it, and it bounces into his arms. We're keeping an eye on Robert Sanchez as well this evening, because Chris Sutton is up against Statman Dave in the head-to-head league on the Fantasy 606 podcast, and you really need Robert Sanchez sent off this evening, ideally, for you to beat Dave, Chris. So I'm not saying that you're advocating that, but were that to happen, well, you know.
Yeah, as an impartial summariser, just need to make sure I'm professional.
Absolutely. 9 minutes played first half. Great noise inside Selhurst Park, whether it's a derby or a rivalry or whatever you want to call it. Palace 0, Brighton 0, and as I said right at the top, Palace actually have had the better of these games over the last couple of seasons. Last 2 seasons they've won both games at the Amex. Last 2 seasons both games here have actually finished 1-1. In the one last season, Alexis McAllister got a 90th minute equaliser for Brighton. He's on the bench for them this evening. Tyreek Mitchell heads the ball infield. Gehi draws in Mopé. Plays the pass to Mitchell into midfield, and Milivojevic drives on with his right foot out to the right wing, headed away by Cucurella. Dan Burn takes a touch, plays it to Lallana to Burn, up to the halfway line, low pass to Cucurella, back into the Brighton half. Burn is chased by Gallagher, plays the ball back to Dunk with his right foot gives it back to his goalkeeper, making his 349th appearance for Brighton in all competitions this evening. Lewis Dunk, at the age of just 29 years old. Sanchez. Now Pascal Gross has a few red and blue shirts around him. Got to be careful. Plays it to Duffy. Gets it back from Duffy. They've given it away. Zaha to Edouard. Edouard trying to turn inside the penalty area. Looks for Gallagher. Can't find him. Burn is there to avert the danger. Ball cleared up towards the halfway line, over the head of Mopé. Gehi intercepts, and then with his left foot plays it out to the left to Mitchell. So Brighton struggling to keep the ball and get out of their own half at the moment, although Welbeck has made a couple of good bursts down the left. Zaha looking to thread one through for Mitchell. Hits the feet of Veltman. Veltman in the right back position. Plays it back to Duffy. That's a weak clearance straight to Zaha. Zaha's closed down, but he's able to play it back to Milivojevic. Fans wanting to shoot. Plays a sideways pass to Gallagher. Gallagher across here to Joel Ward. Cross into the far post. Too far. Out for a throw into Brighton. Chris Sutton.
Yeah, it's just that final ball eluding Crystal Palace so far. Not a good cross from Ward. Overhit, but they're really getting after Brighton. Palace, I think it's fair to say, Patrick Vieira has changed style. They're more possession-based under Roy Hodgson. They were, happy to sit in and counter. And the early signs are good from Vieira.
I think we'd like a few more shots on target. So far this season it's 11, but they've managed to score 5 goals from them. They've got the 1 win against Tottenham. They've had some tough games actually though. They've already faced Chelsea and Liverpool.
Absolutely, and you contrast that to Brighton's start. They've had a good start, but gentler fixtures.
Yeah, Trossard with his left foot across to Cucurella. Central position, forward to Trossard, stabs it to Mopé, back to Cucurella. No one ever really had that totally under control there. Brighton do have it back inside their own half. 12 minutes played. Palace 0, Brighton 0. And if you missed any of the Monday Night Club this evening, goes without saying, BBC Sounds app, subscribe to the Football Daily podcast, and you can listen to it there. And I need to, when I came back from going to grab a cup of coffee, you were banging on about polka dot stingrays, and I actually missed the start of that analogy, so I am going to have to listen to that on the way home.
Big fish, Bruce.
Big fish.
Yeah.
Small pond, that sort of thing.
Well, it's about who's the biggest fish.
Gotcha.
At Manchester United, and there's only one.
So is that the biggest fish? It's just a big fish.
It's a big fish.
A big fish.
Polka dot stingray, I would suggest, is a bigger fish than a Neptune grouper.
Okay. Mitchell.
I don't know. Don't know how you feel about that.
I don't have a clue. Gehi to Anderson. Crystal Palace have control of the ball. Inside the centre circle, Anderson sprays a pass out to the left. Mitchell controls it at the second attempt. Zaha in space. Left-hand side of the penalty area. Little step over. Low ball into the Brighton box. Lallana's caught as he tries to clear. Under pressure from Ayew. Brighton have hacked it away. And it goes out for a throw-in if Anderson lets it go. No, he doesn't. He keeps it in. Wide on the right. So Palace will rebuild.
They've started with greater intensity. Palace, most certainly. Really getting after Brighton, not letting them have easy ball at the back.
Playing with the home support, and I think the home fans enjoying what they're seeing so far this evening. Gahey and Anderson just swap passes on the halfway line. Brighton back in their defensive shape. Gahey comes forward. Edouard makes a little run, gives it straight back to Gahey. Chip ball towards Zaha. Too far. Bounces once and into the arms of Brighton's goalkeeper, Robert Sanchez. So the Monday Night Club will be on that Football Daily thread on the BBC Sounds app, and there'll be a bonus Champions League podcast for you there as well. John Murray has flown out to Paris today, Chris.
It's all right for some, isn't it?
Exactly. Ahead of the game tomorrow. Lionel Messi, I was reading, I think is fit to start. So that's your commentary tomorrow night on BBC Radio 5 Live and BBC Sounds. Paris Saint-Germain against Manchester City with John Murray and Michael Brown. Looking ahead to that one in that bonus podcast tomorrow. Manchester United Villarreal is our commentary from the Champions League on Wednesday. Quarter of an hour played at Selhurst Park. Lallana on the ball, plays it back to Lewis Dunk. This is inside the Brighton half. Duffy to Pascal Gross. Gross has time, back to Dunk. Dunk across to Duffy, drawing Zaha in. Then the ball's played into midfield. Lallana pokes it back to Gross, who gives it to Dunk. Goes wide to Cucurella, and Cucurella is going to try and get things moving, looking for Welbeck, can't find him. Conor Gallagher intercepts for Crystal Palace, and they're on the move again. Quickly to the left-hand side, Tyrick Mitchell, who's now become the regular starting left-back for Palace, now that Patrick Van Aanholt has left the club. Zaha's tackled. Throw in for Crystal Palace.
Veltman paying Zaha close attention. Tariq Lamptey fit again for Graham Potter's team. Just wondered whether that was in Graham Potter's thought process about chucking him in tonight. Maybe he sees Veltman as the more accomplished defender.
Tariq Lamptey is coming back from a long-term hamstring injury. Got 45 minutes against Swansea in the League Cup last week, and as Chris said, he's on the bench this evening. Space opening up for young Tyrick Mitchell, heading down the left wing at speed. Low cross into the edge of the penalty area, reaches Ayew, back to Milivojevic, shot driven, is blocked. James MacArthur wins the loose ball, knocks it back to the halfway line, and Gahey has to scamper back, goes behind him, turns to collect it. MacArthur chips the ball out to the left hand side, controlled by Mitchell, and here's James MacArthur again, the Scot for Palace. Anderson the Day, bouncing ball out to the right. Ayew brings that infield. Cucurella goes with him. Conor Gallagher on the turn on the edge of the box. Dan Burns sticks one of those big long legs in to make a challenge. Then Lewis Dunk, delicate little floated pass out of defence. Mopé heads it down to Lallana, quickly scoops it on to Welbeck. Does well to keep that in wide on the left hand side. Cucurella comes jogging forward, feeds the ball to Adam Lallana. Those lovely silky feet in central midfield, just ball runs between his legs. They've worked it to the right for Duffy.
Cucurella's got the look of Rabiot, hasn't he? Do you think?
Yes, definitely. Yeah. Here's Mitchell. Mitchell with his left foot slices the ball out of play, and that's a throw in for Brighton. But Crystal Palace, Chris, at the start of this game, looking more incisive when they're going forward.
Yeah, and as I said, they've started with the greater intensity, got after Brighton, says we're not going to let you play easy balls through our midfield. And Brighton do have good ball players in there, Lallana and Gross. Just wonder whether they're going to miss that enforcer. Bissouma called himself the best midfielder in the Premier League, did he?
Yeah, I think he was asked who the best was, and he said, well,
there's confidence. Probably incorrect, but there you go.
Throwing on the left for Palace. Brighton have passed it straight out of play. Patrick Vieira still standing on the sidelines here, hands in pockets, watching Joachim Anderson in his white boots play a short pass to his left. Gahey up towards Zaha. Zaha able to turn, sees a wall of light green shirts in front of him, so plays it back to MacArthur. Outside of his right foot from Anderson, across to Ward, wide to Ayew. Ayew strokes it back to the halfway line. And here's Anderson. Inside the centre circle, picks up the pace a little. Low ball out to Ayew, takes on the Rabiot-like Cucurella. Plays it to Zaha. Oh, it's good passing. Edouard gets the shot away, straight at Sanchez, palms it down, and the ball runs to him gently in the 6-yard box.
Yep, quick, sharp passing. Ayew off the right-hand side, cuts inside to Zaha in a central position, who plays a fast ball into Anderson, and his layoff to Odsonne-Edouard, 18-19 yards out, right-footed effort. Easy for Sanchez, gathers that one comfortably.
Sanchez clearance with his right foot, ball headed away by Gehi. Here's Edouard in a deeper position for Palace. One touch, lays it off to Milivojevic. Milivojevic curls a pass out to the right to Ayew. Just took him a second or two to bring that under control, so it slows down a little. MacArthur in the centre circle, turns and plays a low pass to his left to Mitchell. Mitchell back to MacArthur, so Palace work it from left to right, and back they come left again. Referee this evening, by the way, not mentioned of yet, is Andre Mariner, all in black. Chris Kavanagh, the video assistant referee at Stockley Park. Ayew on the move for Palace. Midway inside the Brighton half. Brighton have every single outfield player behind the ball at the moment. Mitchell to Zaha, slipped as he tried to control that. Trossard takes it off him. Gross plays it back to Veltman. Veltman's under pressure from Edouard, and his clearance deflected by Edouard, and out for a throw-in to Brighton.
Yeah, what was that stat you were banging on about earlier about last season at Brighton, wasn't it?
Yeah.
About how much Brighton were dominant in that game. They ended up losing the game to Palace. Benteke last minute winner, but was it something like 75% possession from Brighton in that game? I think it was.
You've taken the stat right out of my mouth, Chris. 75% possession, 25 shots. Palace had 3 shots and scored 2, and it's when Brighton fans, it was at that stage in the season, they were still battling relegation, were tearing their hair out at creating chances and not sticking them away. Fans of XG having a field day, Chris. Long ball downfield, flick back header from Lewis Dunk to his goalkeeper Robert Sanchez.
They never lost the confidence though last season. Every time I saw them, they were losing games but still having the confidence to play. They've sort of struggled in the opening stages here though, just not flowing the passing. They can't get up the pitch, and that's a credit to Palace and the way they're pressing the ball.
Good start by Palace at home. Midway through the first half on BBC Radio 5 Live and BBC Sounds. Crystal Palace 0, Brighton 0. MacArthur, Ayew's header just takes the sting out of that pass. That worked nicely. Joel Ward, Ayew's continued the run. Can he keep that in? Oh, he did just, down by the byline. He's won, no he hasn't won a corner. Went behind for a goal kick initially. So Palace 0, Brighton 0. Sanchez waiting to take this goal kick.
What derailed Brighton last season was their start. I think 1 win out of the first 8 this season. They're off to an absolute flyer, taking the chances.
Yeah.
4 wins out of the first 5. Oh, it's incredible to think they can go top.
Some late goals as well. McAllister got one at Burnley in the opening weekend of the season. They won that game 2-1. Late win at Brentford as well. Conor Gallagher goes down, that's why the fans were roaring. They wanted the free kick, referee agrees, and Crystal Palace get it. Trossard got a 90th minute winner at Brentford. Last game beat Leicester 2-1, and a couple of the sort of marginal decisions went their way. Graham Potter was honest enough to admit that after the game, but 12 points on the board.
He'll look back to last season and think, well, maybe we didn't get the rub of the green last season. Are you one of those who thinks it evens itself out, Bruce?
No, I think that's quite an easy line that we trot out, actually, Chris. I think I'd rather do the statistical analysis and actually work it out decision on decision. But we obviously have someone who does that for us every week on the Fantasy 606 podcast. Statman Dave, hopefully listening this evening. Midway through the first half, Palace 0, Brighton 0. All Palace, really.
They've not any criticism of Palace. They've not worked Sanchez enough.
Mitchell down the left, beyond Zaha. Oh, Duffy, not the best pass back. Sanchez did well to keep that in place. Swings it away with his right foot. Anderson to Milivojevic. Pass is almost too short. Gehi slides in. Mitchell looking for the run of Edouard. Duffy has that one covered. Sliding challenge to block the ball. Conor Gallagher now on the press for Crystal Palace. Sanchez under pressure, chips it away just in time. Cucurella, oh dear, poor chest down, straight to Ayew. Then barges into Ayew. Having made the mistake, he panicked. He's conceded the free kick.
Yeah, I don't know why Brighton are complaining about this. Cucurella, with a poor touch on his chest, put themselves under pressure, but Palace with the high press. Lofted ball from Sanchez. Cucurella's trying to chest the ball back to Dan Burn, and he catches Ayew. Ayew's still down on the turf, gets his body in, and Ayew in a Cucurella and Dan Burn sandwich. Back on his feet now.
Free kick Palace. Tyrick Mitchell has just come over for a conversation with Patrick Vieira, so the manager's got his message across. Milivojevic is over there.
Joel Ward, swinger, isn't it? Two right footers.
What, curling ball to the far post, near post possibly. Let's see. Milivojevic. Oh, low pacey one. Heading for the. Was he shooting?
Well, he was either shooting or that was one of the worst free kicks I've ever seen, because from the right hand side of the box, 30 yards out, he was shooting. He's tried to catch Sanchez out, but the hopeless effort. 10 yards wide of the near post. Brighton near post, awful.
He went for the low whip with his right foot and got it badly wrong. Veltman with his left foot, Trossard barges Milivojevic in the back. You're not getting away with that. And the free kick goes to Crystal Palace. Now Milivojevic is getting some instructions from Vieira. By the way, just talking penalties and Ronaldo Bruno, Milivojevic obviously for the last few seasons has been Crystal Palace's penalty taker. 22 out of 25 he's got. Zaha has 3 from 3, and when Milivojevic hasn't been playing, Zaha takes them. So you've possibly got a little Stingray grouper situation going on there, haven't you?
Well, are you comparing Zaha to Ronaldo?
I'm just talking about respected reputations within the club.
Yes. Yep. No, I take your point. That'll be an interesting one, but you know, the point about Manchester United was Ronaldo is such a huge hitter, and basically he I'm saying he does what he wants, but he sort of does.
Guaita clears with his right foot. Mitchell's got no one to flick that ball onto. I think you can hear one of the Palace fans making that point. Wanted Wilfred Zaha making the run down the left-hand side. Live atmosphere from inside Selhurst Park on BBC Radio 5 Live and BBC Sounds. Poor ball from Gahey, because Edouard was in a good position there in the inside left channel. It's beyond him and it runs through to Sanchez.
I'll tell you one to watch now. Odsonne Edouard has got a trick in his locker, and he'll know Shane Duffy very well from their time at Celtic together. And we may see Odsonne Edouard drift out to this left-hand side and run at Duffy. He's not the most mobile, we know. He's a robust defender, strong in the air, but he won't want to get drawn into 1v1 situations.
Brighton have given the ball away again inside their own half. Dan Burn's trying to win it back. Sliding challenge from Milivojevic, runs to Burn. Lengthy stride, takes him away from Conor Gallagher. Cucurella plays it to Burn. Burn's pass is blocked, throw in Palace, they've taken it quickly. Ayew throws it to MacArthur. Good skills from MacArthur, pass to Lallana, brought down. Yellow card. Adam Lallana, the enforcer.
Yeah. Well, he's not an enforcer, and that's the problem. Worry for Brighton in there. No Bissouma in there, and MacArthur goes past Lallana too easily there. And yellow card out. He's put himself under pressure. Lallana.
Duffy's header back to Robert. Yeah, I thought you were going to sing that, Chris, for a second there. Robert Sanchez with the ball in his hand. So Palace with all the play. Sanchez not really tested so far, and that's why we're at Palace 0, Brighton 0. Brighton looking to go top of the Premier League, top of the top division in English football for the first time in their history. Danny Welbeck onto a loose ball into that Crystal Palace penalty area. Cucurella gives him support on the outside. Oh, Mope could have left that for Gross. He didn't. He played it back to Lallana. Gross inside the Palace box on the right now. Nice trick. Beats Mitchell. Mitchell slides in, makes the block. Gross still going. Low cross, near post shot from Trossard into the side netting, and it's behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, that was better from Brighton. It was just one long ball. Palace getting after Brighton defensively, and there's a ball clipped over the back line for Welbeck, left hand side, and the ball fed into Mopé on the edge of the box, who lays it back to Lallana. Good play down the right hand side, eventually crossed in, and Trossard is beyond the near post. Difficult finish and hits the side netting.
Coming up to half an hour played then at Selhurst Park. Crystal Palace 0, Brighton 0. Sanchez, two Palace strikers closing in on the Brighton keeper. Cucurella plays it back to his goalkeeper again, whacks it away with his right foot. Welbeck wins the header, nods it down to Mopé. Mopé lays it off to Veltman. Not seen much of Veltman going up the pitch for Brighton, but as you've been saying, Chris, he's obviously got Zaha to keep an eye on. Here's Dunk inside his own half, across to Duffy. Zaha closes him down, wide to Veltman, right on the touchline, under the nose of Graham Potter. Veltman plays it back to Duffy, and across to Sanchez on the edge of his own penalty area. Lewis Dunk just comes walking forward with the ball. Trossard started to make a run. Dunk gives it to Lallana inside the Brighton half. Little 1-2 with Gross. Turns away from Edouard. Strokes a left-footed pass, but it's off target. Couldn't find Mopé. And Duffy's able to scoop the clearance back to Sanchez. Patient from Brighton.
Yeah, I just wonder whether they've tweaked things a little bit. Brighton, where Welbeck and Trossard were, they started the game playing very wide in a 3-4-3, but they're playing closer to Mopé now.
Is Gross to Dunk. Dunk sweeps it out to the left. Cucurella chests it down. Welbeck gives it back to him, then makes a run. Ball is chipped forward to Trossard. Little back heel to Cucurella. He backheels it to Trossard. Lallana looks up, drives the pass with his right foot. Almost finds Veltman, does find Veltman, who holds off Zaha. Nice turn from Mopé inside the penalty area, trying to work it onto his right foot. Blocked by Mitchell. Veltman's overhit the cross and knocked it straight behind for a goal kick. Crystal Palace fans love that.
I think the Crystal Palace fans initially wanted a foul for a challenge from Veltman on Zaha. Didn't think it was. Veltman using his strength very, very well. Feeds the ball to Mopé, right hand side of the box. Ball back to Veltman. And that's a dreadful cross from Veltman.
Yeah, it's probably up there with the Milivojevic free kick in the first half. Those two efforts. 14 minutes remaining. Back with Mark Chapman at half time. Joachim Andersen with his right foot. It's a fairly aimless punt downfield. Straight to Robert Sanchez, the Brighton keeper. Dunk. 10 yards outside his own penalty area. Not quite sure what to do with it. So plays it back to his goalkeeper, Sanchez. Edouard moves in. Sanchez clears. Oh, long ball. Bounces in front of Welbeck. Welbeck's in. Nods it down. Welbeck tries to scoop it past Guaita.
He wants
Couldn't
a penalty.
get enough on it.
I think he wants a penalty, Welbeck, for a push. But it's a problem for Palace. That's a couple of times now. Just one long ball. Just wondered whether he was offside initially anyway. But one long ball from Sanchez. Welbeck was in, and I think he should score that anyway.
Yeah.
I really do. It's Ward where there's a tiny bit of contact, but not enough to go down. And Welbeck tries to lift it over Guaita, and it's a comfortable save in the end, but warning signs for the Crystal Palace back line.
That's one long ball, wasn't it, Chris? Goalkeeper, straight down the middle of the pitch.
Well, Palace are pressing high, and then Brighton are saying, well, you know, we'll miss out your press. Welbeck does have the pace to trouble any team.
Welbeck nodded it down well, just couldn't apply the finishing touch. Got a touch, but not enough to beat Guaita.
Tried to lift it over him, didn't he? But not enough on it. I just wondered whether he was, you know, looking to go down. I'm not saying he dived, but that's a big chance for Brighton.
Definitely not a penalty. No. But not a contender for the simulation game either, I think we're saying. There'll be worse than that, Chris. Champions League this week. There'll be plenty for you in there, don't worry about that. Free kick for Brighton. Foul on Shane Duffy as he challenged for the ball. 12 minutes remaining in the first half. Palace 0, Brighton 0. If Palace win this game, they'll go up to 12th, so they're on 5 points from 5 games, but a win tonight would take them above Wolves, Leicester and Watford up to 12th in the table. Sanchez, clearance is beyond Mopé. Veltman plays it forward to Trossard, who's got the peroxide look about him this season.
Are you a peroxide man?
Never been, Chris, no. Experimented with a little bit of lemon juice back in the day. Sunshine can just sort of make your hair go a bit lighter, but never went full peroxide. Zaha running at Duffy. Now Duffy won't want that. Ball in towards Edouard. Dunk challenges him. Got enough on the ball to clear it. Palace have it again though. Here's MacArthur outside of his right foot. He's overhit it. Zaha was very nearly in. Bit less on the pass. He was in.
Yeah, wasn't a great pass from MacArthur. But initially Zaha running at Duffy. That's a bad situation for Brighton to be in. Is looking for Edouard to move earlier. Just watching this Danny Welbeck chance again. There's not enough contact for that from Ward.
Oh, that's a poor ball out. The defence from Brighton. Milivojevic plays it to MacArthur, edge of the area. Danger now for Brighton. Here's Zaha, low shot! Saved by Sanchez at the near post. Came through Duffy's legs, took a slight deflection, but the goalkeeper got down well.
Yeah, but that will be a concern for Graham Potter. In fact, another situation where Zaha is facing Duffy up. Zaha shifts the ball on his right foot. Duffy stands big. Zaha shoots, actually goes through his legs. Slight deflection, and Sanchez, smart save down to his right.
Have you got your Zaha stats, goals against Brighton? He loves scoring against Brighton.
Had you mentioned that earlier?
Yeah. 7 goals against Brighton, 4 in his last 4 at Selhurst Park against Brighton. I remember 2 famously actually in the Championship playoff semi-final 2013 with Crystal Palace under Ian Holloway. They won their way through those playoffs and up to the Premier League. Free kick Palace just inside the Brighton half. Still 0-0. Milivojevic looking for a crossfield ball.
Brighton have been a little bit better the last 5 or 10 minutes. It's a marathon, not a sprint, Bruce, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're running the marathon
tortuously
at the weekend, and you and producer George next door running the marathon as well. You're a little bit of needle there, isn't there, between the pair of you?
I'll tell you what I did notice is that when you offered the flapjacks round before the game, George didn't take one after he'd seen that I took one, and I think he was trying to make a point there. But you need the energy, Chris. You need the food, don't you?
Absolutely.
It's all about loading up this week. Sanchez nearly closed down by Edouard. Clearance from Sanchez over the head of Mopé. Runs to Trossard. What can Trossard do with it? Plays it behind Welbeck, but Cucurella was already on the move up the left-hand side. Back to Trossard. Trossard, 25 yards out, slides a lovely ball left to Cucurella. Low cross, blocked, and behind for a Brighton corner. Danny Welbeck's appealing for handball, so he's making another penalty appeal here.
Oh, I didn't sense it was handball. Let's have another look. Trossard, lovely pass inside Gallagher. Ward, I think it hits him on the head, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The ball fizzed in from Cucurella. Ward throws his body in front of the ball, and there's a corner to Brighton. Now Palace defensively haven't got a great record of defending corners this season.
I think it's Brighton's first corner of the half actually. Lallana with his right foot, edge of the 6-yard box, headed away. Edouard. Lallana drives it with his right foot, gets underneath it and smashes it over the bar. And just in case you were wondering, it was actually Gross with the corner. That wasn't Lallana's corner in, and then Lallana on the edge of the box. That was my mistake. That would have been miraculous had he covered that 60 yards to get into position to hit the shot, but couldn't keep it down, couldn't get it on target.
I think that's disappointing from Lallana. Edouard with the header, not a great header. And Lallana on the edge of the box takes it on his chest, half volley. Got to get over those, Bruce.
Yeah.
Launched it well into the stand behind the goal.
Did you ever score at Selhurst Park, Chris?
Oh, I scored a few here back in the day.
Did you?
Yeah.
Good ones?
I scored a brilliant goal for Blackburn. I don't know how to talk about myself, Bruce, but wonderful goal against Palace.
What, in the title-winning season?
Not in that. I think we beat them 3-0.
Yeah.
But I didn't score in that particular game. Under Roy Hodgson, actually, I think.
Yeah, right.
97, 98.
Right peg, left peg?
Right peg, sort of at an angle, 22 yards out, half volley.
Oh, right, technique. That Lallana
sizzling shot into the corner.
Who's the keeper?
Oh, Oh, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. No keeper in the world. 2 keepers wouldn't have saved that, Bruce.
7 minutes left in the first half. Palace 0, Brighton 0. London Marathon on Sunday, as Chris was mentioning. We got 2 Premier League commentaries for you as well. Tottenham Villa, and then Liverpool Manchester City. Belting game, 4:30 on Sunday in Full on 5 Live. James McCarthy's dribbling towards his own goal at the moment. Palace fans getting a bit worried.
Lovely pass, wasn't it? Lovely composure.
Towards Ayew. Ayew's tackled by Cucurella. Throw in for Palace on the right. Still 0-0. Joachim Andersen. Right-footed ball, which Conor Gallagher will chase. And Brighton could be caught out here. Dan Burns not going to get there in time. Gallagher plays the ball back to Zaha. Miscontrols it inside the Brighton box. Duffy has a chance to clear. No nonsense. Smashes it downfield. He disappears out of view for a second. They're above the roof of the stand. Ends up in the arms of Guaita.
It's a good run from Conor Gallagher. First time he's really broken in behind the Brighton back line. And then the cross just off target. Both sides just lacking that creativity in the final third so far.
Yeah. Ayew to Gallagher. A little toe poke of a pass to Joel Ward. Then a flick ball infield. Can't find Ayew. Byrne closed down by Ayew. Plays the ball up the left. Lovely cushioned pass from Danny Welbeck. Cucurella tries to get it back to him. Gahey slides in, gets there just in time. Applause from the Palace fans. Back to his goalkeeper. Guaita's outside his penalty area in the right back position. Slips as he plays the pass. But it was a good ball and Palace have worked it out well. MacArthur to Zaha. Deep inside his own half. Zaha against Veltman. Here we go then. Zaha's got Veltman backpedaling. Then he slows it down. Pascal Gross comes over to help. Zaha gives the ball to MacArthur. To Gahey, and Brighton back off into their own half. Gahey to Milivojevic, turns, chips one with his right foot towards Edouard. Dunk heads it back to his own goalkeeper, and Robert Sanchez has it.
Yeah, it's good movement from Edouard, positioning himself in between Dunk and Duffy, making that run in behind. But Dunk, he's a superb defender, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. Here he is now, good touch. Pacey pass, hit straight at him. Touch needed to be good there. Edouard was closing him down. Sanchez clears the Brighton keeper with his right foot. Headed forward by Gahey. Mitchell, first time ball. Zaha in space and Pascal Gross is treading water there. Zaha's ball in beyond MacArthur. Final pass is not there.
That was disappointing from Zaha. That was a big opportunity for Palace. Left-hand side of the box. I actually don't know who he was trying to pick out. It was misplaced. It was awful, really.
Yeah. Cucurella for Brighton in these peppermint green kits. One of my favourite away kits this season because I like the colour.
Is it green? Are you sure it's green?
What do you think it is?
I'd say more light blue, isn't it? That's not green.
It's peppermint green. My younger son and I, he wanted me to rate all the away kits, so we did a whole table of away kits. And Brighton, it is, it's peppermint green. It'll have an official description on the website.
I'm going to get my eyes checked.
Well, it won't be something blue, it'll be something green. We'll have a look. Gahey heads the ball down to MacArthur. Gallagher to Gahey, inside his own half. Mopé backs off. 2.5 minutes plus added time until we reach half-time. Nice turn from MacArthur, ever present in this Crystal Palace midfield. Regular under Roy Hodgson. Patrick Vieira obviously likes what he does as well. Little trick from Zaha, takes him away from Mopé. Gets it back from Mitchell. Zaha slides it into the penalty area. Gallagher makes the run for him, back to Zaha, stretches out a left leg to control that. 3 Brighton players in front of him now, and he fancies taking them on. Beats 2 of them. Cross to the far post. Cucurella heads it away. Ayew's underneath it, chests it down. Flicks the ball with the outside of his right boot. Dan Burn's got to be careful with the challenge there on Joel Ward. Ward's twisting and turning, wide on the right-hand side. And plays it back to Ayew. And keeps the ball for Palace. Ayew brings it infield from the right to MacArthur. MacArthur to Milivojevic. Milivojevic traps it with his studs. Now Gahey. The Palace have had to come all the way back to the halfway line.
It's all... And they're keeping possession okay, but it's all rather slow, isn't it, from Palace, and allows Brighton to mould themselves into position.
Here they come again, Crystal Palace. Zaha Mitchell had made the run beyond him, but Zaha's just slowed it down. Yeah, it is a bit slow and formulaic at the moment, trying to break the lines. Ayew with a bit of skill to do that. Edouard with the layoff back to Ayew. 25 yards out, running from right to left. MacArthur. Brighton have got all the angles covered at the moment. Anderson to Milivojevic. Last minute of the first half.
Hasn't quite felt like a derby, Bruce, has it?
It's because it's not one. It's a rivalry. Has it felt like a rivalry?
It's a derby. You said earlier about the mileage being a thing in derbies.
Well,
no, you did say.
I know where you're going to go with this now. Gahey to Zaha. Are you going to talk about the East Anglian one?
I'm saying you count that as a derby.
Gallagher to Edouard. Palace fans want a free kick. Not going to get one. Brighton coming on the break late in the first. Oh, Joe Ward went in hard and high there, but won the ball. Danny Welbeck, I don't think, is complaining about the challenge.
That must. But in this day and age, that was a challenge from the 1980s, wasn't it?
I'll tell you what I'd say about that derby is that they don't have another rival closer by, whereas these clubs do, don't they? Palace have got Charlton. That's what I'd say about that. We're going to continue that conversation. 1 minute of added time, end of the first half. Gallagher goes down in the penalty area and Crystal Palace get the penalty. Gallagher made a darting run in from the right-hand side. We'll wait and see on the replays. He went absolutely flying in the box and referee Andre Mariner has pointed to the spot.
Well, this is an interesting one. Did Conor Gallagher lose control of the ball? Drives on the inside of Cucurella. And is there enough contact from Trossard? Gallagher driving in, takes a touch. Oh, I think this will be given. It has been given. I don't think they'll overturn it. I think it's a soft penalty. I really do. But Andre Mariner has awarded the penalty, and because he's awarded the penalty, I don't think they'll overturn it. And it looks like Zaha
gets the nod. 3 out of 3 and has already scored a penalty this season in the 3-0 win against Tottenham. The video assistant referee has had a look. The penalty will stand. I don't think Trossard got a foot on the ball. He lunged in and Gallagher went down. Wilfred Zaha finds the bottom corner and Crystal Palace lead Brighton just before half-time. Palace 1, Brighton 0. A clinically taken penalty.
It's a brilliant penalty from Zaha. As cool as you like. Shapes to go to Sanchez's left and whips it across him. Sanchez goes the wrong way. Goes right into the corner. Has a look first, but pace and precision. Superb penalty, and Palace have the lead. I thought it was a soft penalty, I have to say. I think Brighton will feel hard done by, but listen to this.
It's one of the greatest atmospheres in the Premier League, this, when this place gets rocking. Palace leading Brighton 1-0. Do you think, Chris, if Andre Mariner doesn't give that on the field, VAR wouldn't call him back and say you should have a look at that? Yes.
Absolutely. The fact he gave it, didn't think that would be overturned. It's one of those where Trossard uses his body and he'll say, well, I'm easing Gallagher out there. Gallagher goes down, probably buys it.
Half-time whistle blows. Crystal Palace lead Brighton 1-0 and they are absolutely joyous inside Selhurst Park. A brilliantly taken penalty by Wilfred Zaha. At the other end of the ground, Danny Welbeck felt he should have had a penalty when he went through on goal. Actually, he really should have finished that chance in the one-on-one. So at half-time, we can barely hear ourselves think, but it's Crystal Palace who lead Brighton in the rivalry, /derby, / whatever you want to call it. Palace 1, Brighton 0. Okay, Brighton making a change in this mint green kit. By the way, a couple of people have got in touch. It is, Chris, on official Brighton paraphernalia, it's called mint green. Other people have suggested a sort of aqua, but it's not. It is mint green. And I've also found out who the goalkeeper was who you scored your worldie against here. Kevin Miller. Palace conceded 71 goals that season, Chris. They weren't the strongest at the back. They finished bottom.
Yep, and that was probably the best goal scored against them.
Palace 1, Brighton 0. Brilliantly taken penalty by Wilfred Zaha just before half-time. Alzate is on for Brighton, and he has replaced Dan Byrne. So that's a change straight away, Chris, in terms of approach, isn't it?
Yep, and probably a change of shape, I would think.
Exactly. We'll have a look as the second half develops. That's the only change, though. Crystal Palace with the same 11 they started the game with. Cucurella, hair flopping over his face as he nods the ball forward. Gallagher slides in on Lallana. Veltman then challenges Zaha. Veltman picks himself up, keeps the ball for Brighton. Trossard with his right foot. Good run made by Pascal Gross, who will be more comfortable over on that right-hand side. The cross, though, is behind Mopé. And Cucurella scurries back to collect possession for Brighton. So in the last 4 games between these two, Palace have drawn to 1-2. They're leading tonight. Brighton, of course, knowing if they can turn this around and win the game, they will go top of the Premier League table. With a draw, they'd go level on points with Manchester City, Chelsea, Manchester United and Everton, but they would stay behind them all on goal difference. Cucurella, low pass into the edge of the box. Welbeck can't get there. Alzate gets his first touch. Trossard plays it back to Lallana. That was a 50-50 with MacArthur. Zaha. Pascal Gross bounces off him. Zaha goes running forward. Tyrick Mitchell goes beyond him. And the young left-back's on the ball now. Veltman in front of him, showed too much of it to Veltman. Mopé turns, he's caught by MacArthur and wins the free kick, and actually holds his arm up as if he's in pain and needs a bit of treatment.
Yeah, I have to say I'm surprised there isn't a booking for MacArthur as he brings down Mopé. Mopé uses his body well there and rolls him. I think Andre Marinette should have arrived the card there, but you'd expect a response from Brighton in this second half. They were so passive in the first half, had a couple of opportunities with long balls over the top, but a change of system. Graham Potter will be hoping they have a better second half than the first half.
Well, that's dreadful from Duffy. Oh, Duffy's hurt himself. He's taken the free kick and now he's hobbling and he's really struggling.
Well,
no?
Or is it one of those where he's kicked the floor, he's taken the free kick and
he's embarrassed about the free kick?
Yeah, I think so. We've all done it, Bruce.
Have we? Nice pass from Joel Ward to Conor Gallagher. Great cross. Well, no, not a great cross. I take that back. That's me doing it right there. That was straight at Sanchez.
Good run from Gallagher down the right-hand side, getting beyond Cucurella in the early cross, and Edouard just on his heels in the middle. Sanchez gathers the ball.
So Brighton have gone 4-3-3, I think, second half. That's Sanchez in goal. Duffy and Dunk, the two centre-backs. Palace given a throw that Brighton thought was theirs. That's why the fans are cheering. Veltman right back, Cucurella left back, Lallana with Gross and Alzate either side of him, and then Trossard and Welbeck in support of Mopé. Palace 1, Brighton 0 on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. 3.5 minutes played in the second half. Wide to Mitchell. Still this positive intent from Crystal Palace under Patrick Vieira. Not happy with the 1 goal, not happy with the 1-0 lead. Zaha, little volley pass to Mitchell. Mitchell looking for Zaha again. The ball's behind him. Pascal Gross played to Trossard. Trossard nearly lost that. Lallana under pressure. Tripped by Milivojevic. Free kick for Brighton. So Palace have Guaita in goal, Ward, Anderson, Gehi and Mitchell as a back four. Milivojevic, Gallagher and MacArthur as their midfield 3. Ayew and Zaha in support of Edouard. Odsonne Edouard making his first start for Crystal Palace tonight with Christian Benteke amongst the substitutes. Cucurella, nice pass through to Mopé inside the Palace half. Out wide to Cucurella. The ball actually runs to Mopé again. Wins the free kick. Milivojevic with the challenge. Brighton free kick.
I have to say, I thought he went down a little bit easily there. Mopé trying to get the break of the ball. Goes into Mopé, pushes it past the Palace defender and goes to ground. And an opportunity now. 35 yards out, left-hand side of the box, and Duffy and Dunk have gone forward.
Duffy and Dunk standing on the edge of the penalty area. Mopé just lurking in that offside position at the moment, but he'll get back onside when this is delivered. Cucurella's ball in. Dunk's up with the header, tipped over the bar by Guaita. It was an awkward floating header that was dipping over him. He backpedals and Brighton get the corner.
Yeah, Guaita taking no chances. It's a good header from Lewis Dunk. He's around the penalty spot and tries to loop it into the far top corner. Really good header, and Guaita takes no chances and just palms the ball over the bar.
5 minutes gone in the second half. Palace 1, Brighton 0. Corner from Pascal Gross. Guaita comes to punch this one. Cucurella heads it to his left. Pascal Gross in position. Closed down by Jordan Ayew. Flicks a pass in field. Lovely turn from Trossard. Cucurella takes it off him and the ball's loose inside that Palace penalty area. Driven shot from the edge of the box. Hits Gallagher and goes behind for a corner. Lallana with the strike.
I'll tell you what, I think there's a big opportunity for Mope in the middle. As the ball fired in by Cucurella, and Mope level with the near post, 8 yards out, just can't gather the ball.
3 goals already for the Frenchman for Brighton this season. Love to score in this game against the big rivals. Corner from the right. Pascal Gross in towards that near post. Lallana, left-footed half volley. Again Gallagher's the one to block it. Alzate plays the ball back to Sanchez. Looked a little bit worried. Poor pass from him. He's played it straight to Edouard. Zaha needs to get onside in the middle. That's off. That's offside. Flag stays down. Sanchez saves it anyway, and then the flag goes up.
It was actually poor from Odsonne Edouard. Really terrible goalkeeping from Sanchez. Tried to play the ball, left-footed into Alzate, gave the ball to Odsonne Edouard, who really should have seen that Zaha was in an offside position centrally, feeds the ball through to him, but flag correctly goes up.
Danny Welbeck chests the ball down for Brighton wide on the left-hand side, about 35 yards from the Palace goal. Pass back to Cucurella. Palace 1, Brighton 0. As soon as that was passed back to Sanchez and he saw Zaha coming, you could see he was panicking, couldn't you, before he even played the pass?
Should still make the pass.
Yeah.
Not a difficult pass to make. Tottenham would have expected him to make it. He would have expected to make it himself, but just the wrong side of Alzate, who then slipped.
Duffy seems to have recovered from whatever the problem was after the miscued free kick. Duffy under pressure from Zaha. Palace pressing. Duffy's mistake knocks it straight out for a Palace throw.
Well, he's not a great technician, Shane Duffy, and that was his issue when he went north of the border. Celtic used to see a lot of the ball, and he's not a great passer. Puts that one straight out into touch.
Started every game for Brighton in the Premier League so far this season. They're still missing Adam Webster at the moment, out with a thigh injury. Here's Zaha. Good strength from Zaha to keep that ball. Veltman tried to make the challenge. Zaha looking for Edouard. Pass not on target. Headed by Milivojevic towards Zaha. Veltman with the challenge. Zaha wants a free kick, not going to get it, so he picks himself up. Low ball hits Zaha. The cross from MacArthur actually knocks Zaha over. Brighton have lost it again on the edge of their own box, and then it's deflected back to their goalkeeper Sanchez.
Well, they're all really alert, the Palace players, when they do overturn possession. They get it back really quickly, and Brighton just struggling to play out from the back.
Sanchez, Brighton's keeper, plays it to Lewis Dunk. Oh, Dunk nearly passed that out of play. Cucurella stretches out a right boot to control it. Back to Sanchez it goes with his left foot. Here's Duffy on the ball inside his own area. Pass up the middle of the pitch to Lallana, who's obviously very comfortable with the ball at his feet. Turns 360 degrees. Trying to lose James McCarthy here. Little ball to Alzate. Gallagher picks up the press, goes charging in. Brighton keep it. Good from Trossard. Past Milivojevic. Little pirouette on the ball past Zaha as well. Played down the right-hand side. Veltman plays it back in field to Lallana. Forward to Trossard. Back to Lallana again. Now up top to Mope. Mope with his back to goal. He's trying to turn away from Guehi. Lays it off to Pascal Gross. Good build-up from Brighton this. Gross to Trossard. Veltman's waiting. Wide right. Trossard goes down the inside right though to Gross. Now out to Veltman wide on the right-hand side. Comes back to Lallana. Little pass into the penalty area. Looking for the 1-2. Can't get through there. Brighton win it back. Veltman's fouled. Free kick for Brighton, 25 yards from goal.
Yeah, good little spell for Brighton. Great feet from Trossard. The old Maradona twirl. Bruce in the middle of the park there. Left foot on the ball, then twizzles round. Drags it with his right foot, and Brighton were away, and eventually they're awarded a free kick, and this is an opportunity. Difficult shooting position, I think. You never know.
It's a little bit like the one in the first half, Chris, that Milivojevic had a go at, didn't he, to try and beat Sanchez at the near post. So it's probably inside of 30 yards out, but it's wide of the post, almost out with the edge of the penalty area. Gross is going to go for a curling ball to the far post, drops down in the Palace penalty area. Duffy was throwing himself at the header, couldn't make the connection. Ayew chips it downfield with his right foot. Alzate under pressure from Edouard, good first touch, plays it back to Sanchez, across here to Veltman. Veltman back to his goalkeeper. Crystal Palace fans applauding the press from their team. 10 minutes gone in the second half. Palace 1, Brighton 0. Next up for these two, Palace at home to Leicester at the weekend, and Brighton welcome Arsenal. And then we're back into the international break, the next international break of the season. Ball played down the line for MacArthur to chase, sliding challenge on him by Lallana, and that's a corner for Palace.
Yeah, it was good from Zaha, electing to pass this time. Lallana, alert as ever, puts the ball behind. Palace make something of this.
Joel Ward is the latest to get instructions from his manager. Patrick Vieira trots back into the middle of the pitch, not involved in the attacking set piece. He's the last man back for Palace. They're in the red and blue stripes, attacking the goal at the Holmesdale Road end. Corner from Milivojevic, testing one for Sanchez, who leans right over the top of MacArthur, leans round him to catch the ball, and then slaps him on the back to say, get out of my way.
Yeah, MacArthur's in that position, standing on the goalkeeper's toes, and Sanchez gathers the ball.
Sanchez with a first-time ball that Ayew very nearly intercepted, found Cucurella to Alzate. Brighton will continue to play that way because they have done under Graham Potter for the last couple of seasons. They'll take some risks, occasionally it'll go wrong. Here we go again. Conor Gallagher chases, Sanchez takes his time, and Gallagher very nearly blocks the clearance, and the clearance goes straight out of play for a Palace throw.
He's got so much energy, hasn't he, Conor Gallagher? He's here, there and everywhere there, shutting the goalkeeper down. They get the throw in.
Here's Tyreek Mitchell, just inside the Brighton half on the left. MacArthur challenged by Lallana. Zaha goes down, no free kick. Mopé to Trossard. Trossard has a chance now to run at the Palace midfield. Edouard almost clipped him. Keeps going. Pascal Gross, deep cross to Danny Welbeck at the far post. Guaita stretches and is able to grab it.
He does well, Guaita. Veltman marauding down the right-hand side. Trossard just slides the ball to him, throwing a diagonal ball to Danny Welbeck, but good goalkeeping, alert as ever. Guaita.
Long clearance downfield from Guaita, straight through to his opposite number, Sanchez. So Brighton on the ball again, inside their own half, playing right to left in this second half. Brighton in the mint green.
Seagulls on, flying high tonight, Bruce. Do you know what the average flying height of a seagull is?
No.
If you were to hazard a guess?
No, it's going to make me look really silly.
But how high? What do you think their average?
I don't know.
Flying height is
100 foot.
50 foot.
Oh right, okay.
50 feet.
So if you halve my answer with that.
And the highest I think is 124 feet.
Is that right? I was always told there's no such thing as a seagull. They're gulls, and you get different types of gull. But actually, a seagull is just a. Do you know anything about that?
I think there's 50, 60 different species.
There we go. So you need to be specific. Here's Zaha inside his own half. His goal, the difference between the two teams at the moment, from the penalty spot. Good skill from Edouard. In the inside left channel, Tyreek Mitchell's well forward, but he's going to use Zaha. Zaha plays it to Edouard. Back to Zaha, wide on the left. To MacArthur. MacArthur with the outside of his right foot. Brighton appealing for offside. Zaha on the move. Blocked at the near post by Duffy. Corner for Palace.
Such a clever pass from MacArthur. Inside Veltman, and there's a good run from Zaha. He's driving towards the Brighton byline. Once again, Palace have another corner. Can they make something of this?
Well, they're leading 1-0. And from Chris's fantasy standpoint, he needs Palace to score a few more. He's going to edge past Statman Dave in the head-to-head. Corner into the near post. Headed away by Alzate. Only as far as Zaha. Zaha just scoops the ball high in the air. Anderson with the header. Sanchez with a flying punch. Went past Gahey, made contact and fisted the ball away. Now Conor Gallagher. Looked a side foot a pass to Ayew. Didn't have enough on it, so he thought, well, I'll go and get it myself. Now Anderson on the right. Cross blocked by Cucurella. MacArthur heads it down inside the Brighton half, but they're being forced back to the halfway line. Joel Ward with a curling ball for Gallagher to chase. Cucurella with an acrobatic clearance on the bouncing ball, and it's out for a throw-in to Palace on the right.
Yes, once again, Conor Gallagher just doesn't stop running. Shows in behind, and Cucurella just hooks the ball out for a throw-in. Good momentum from Palace now in the second half.
16 minutes gone in the second half. In both of the games between these two teams last season, there were 90th minute goals. Alexis McAllister here to salvage a 1-1 draw for Brighton, and Benteke, as Chris was talking about in the first half, with the 90th minute winner at the Amex. Jordan Ayew wanted a free kick. He was looking for Cucurella. That is a free kick, yeah. Shirt tug, that was obvious. From Conor Gallagher, free kick. For Brighton,
Ayew went down far too easily.
Yeah.
I've got another interesting seagull.
You say interesting.
Stat. Yeah. How do you just? I mean, this is really interesting because seagulls can be aggressive if you have.
I know that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
How do you ward? What's the best way to ward a seagull off?
Don't know. Maybe buy a baseball cap with a fake seagull on top of it, so it looks like.
No, but next time if you're attacked by a seagull or a seagull comes in, eye contact
with the seagull.
With the seagull.
Right,
just honestly, Brooke, we love that. Eye contact.
Okay. Trossard. 10 yards inside the Palace half. Palace leading Brighton 1-0. Mopé with his right foot. Low ball out to Veltman. Lallana's even wider. Now Lallana on the ball for Brighton. Here's Gross. Support from Veltman on the outside. Crossing right across the face of goal. Gahey decided to leave that, which could have been dangerous if any of the Brighton players have been making a run in behind. Oh, Alzate's down. He's only just come on as well at the start of the second half. Oh, that's a shame. Holding his left leg, he's in trouble. Brighton are going to have to put the ball out of play.
I tell you what, you mentioned Gahey leaving that cross. I mean, we have to say, brilliant judgment, because that ball was fizzed in by Veltman along the 6-yard line. So maybe he got lucky.
Do you think he got a shout?
I'm not sure. I mean, it's quite a noisy stadium, but it's a brilliant. You have to say brilliant leave in the end, but risky from where we're sitting.
Would you say, with Palace leading this game 1-0 and playing the way they're playing, that they are looking the Seagulls in the eye tonight?
Well, they are. They're staring them down.
Yeah.
I think they've been brilliant. They've really been aggressive with the press, haven't they?
Yeah.
Fit and mobile. I think, look, truth be told, I mean...
I've just seen what happened to Alzate. Ayew fell on him.
Yes, the left
ankle,
left knee.
Oh no.
It's the left ankle, isn't it, of Ayew? Oh, sorry, of Alzate.
Yeah.
Ayew goes down.
It's when Ayew was throwing himself around, and his whole body weight has landed on Alzate's leg in a really awkward position, and that was nasty. So he's down. Brighton are going to have to make another change. Jakub Moder, the Pole. Alzate's continuing to receive treatment, so we'll have to wait and see whether he's going to be stretched off or he's going to be able to hobble off. Hopefully it's not as bad as the pictures made that look. He's being hauled to his feet, which is a good sign.
He's going to be coming off, isn't he? Yeah. As soon as he sits down on the pitch, tells its own story.
So the substitute, unfortunately, is going to have to be substituted for Brighton. Jakub Moder, though, since he has joined Brighton on loan from Lech Poznan, has certainly impressed. Got his first goal for the club this season in the League Cup win at Cardiff. But he joined from Lech Poznan at the start of last season, went back on loan immediately out there, and then they recalled him in January, and he started to make some first team appearances towards the end of the season, and now he's on again for Brighton. So Alzate is going to very slowly and rather painfully hobble his way back down the touchline. I hope he gets the respect he deserves from the Crystal Palace fans as he goes. That was very unfortunate for the young man. We're waiting for the game to get back underway. Palace take the throw and they smash it downfield to Sanchez. In fact, with such a bad pass from MacArthur, doesn't even reach Sanchez. It goes straight out for a goal kick.
Sanchez is unhappy, and I can understand that. That would aggravate me. MacArthur has pinged the ball. He hasn't given it back to Brighton. He's pinged the ball behind the Brighton goal. A bit unnecessary.
Yeah, I suppose what it stops them doing is sort of settling and playing from the back, because it allows Palace to come
spirit,
up.
Bruce,
it's not really. It's a bit like, Chris, the Ryder Cup over the last couple of days when the players were putting their putters down on the floor to say, come on, that's a gimme, that is. If it's within the putter grip on your putter, there was a bit of that going on. I think that was similar. Sanchez not happy.
Yeah, I fell out with my sons on holiday one year for not giving me a putt.
Which he then missed. Moda on the right hand side, low cross, well intercepted by Gahey at the near post. Moda's first touch, and again that was a quick one downfield. Sanchez launched it, Moda onto it, cross in was really dangerous.
Yeah, and Gahey, brilliant judgment in that near post space position, running back towards his own goal, left-footed, just gets it behind Brighton corner.
21 minutes gone in the second half. BBC Radio 5 Live and BBC Sounds, you can listen to this game on. Palace leading Brighton 1-0. Joel Ward heads the ball away. Trossard beaten to it by Ayew. Ayew holds off two Brighton players, loses it to Trossard. Trossard tries to dribble past Gallagher. Gallagher makes the tackle. He's then tackled by Lallana, and the ball goes out for a throw. And we heard from John Murray and Michael Brown at Paris at half-time. They are there tomorrow night for Paris Saint-Germain against Manchester City in the Champions League. Full commentary on that game. I'll be bringing you updates of Porto against Liverpool, and then Ian Dennis and Clinton Morrison at Old Trafford on Wednesday night for Manchester United against Villarreal in the Champions League.
Good to see Clinton doing another team other than Spurs, isn't it?
He likes his Tottenham. Yeah, he does. Don't think you'll have enjoyed the North London derby all that much. Yesterday, here's Trossard.
Good tracking back from Zaha. Trossard chopping the ball back on the inside, and Zaha behind him. He's behind you, Trossard. Pinches the ball off him.
Dangerous question to ask comes from producer George. Have you got any? You've got your seagull stats. Have you got eagle stats as well, or are you anti-eagles?
Thank you for asking. Yeah, well, have a guess. The Eagles, how high do?
Oh, they'd be higher. They'd be much higher. Ayew side puts the ball to Edouard. Ayew with his right foot. Out to Zaha. Zaha on the dribble into the Brighton area. Runs straight into Veltman. Duffy clears it away. Chested down by MacArthur. Poor touch by Mitchell, and it comes through to Sanchez.
Yeah, so go on, have a guess at the bald eagle. That's the highest flying eagle.
Okay, so the seagull, you're saying average of 50 feet. So I'm saying the bald eagle's average. I'm going to go all the way up to 175 feet.
And another guess, higher.
Really? 250 feet?
Yeah, we could go higher.
Really? 500 feet?
10,000 feet.
Wow.
And the highest flying bird in the world?
Really?
Go on, no, it's not.
Oh, what is?
Yeah, what is?
Don't know, the condor.
Not a great guess.
Ball played to Moda on the right.
I'll give you a clue.
Lallana for Brighton. Brighton are trailing Palace 1-0. We've got just over 20 minutes to play in the second half at Selhurst Park. All sorts of ornithology featuring in the commentary as well. Lots of Brighton possession at the moment, not doing much to hurt Palace. Overhit pass from Lewis Dunk. Cheers from the Palace fans, and the ball goes out for a throw.
Well, I'm going to tell you the top three highest flying birds. The bar-headed goose at 29,000 feet, then the common crane at 33,000 feet. Yeah. That allows them to avoid eagles in the mountain passes, and the highest is the Ruppel's vulture. At 37,000 feet.
And what happens if they go above that? It's just physically impossible to go above that.
I don't know. I'm not a bird.
You're sounding like one.
What a ridiculous question.
25 minutes gone, second half. Eagles 1, Seagulls 0 tonight in the football. Throw in down the left. Edouard flicks on. Zaha controls. Zaha's got this Brighton defence backpedaling again. Shane Duffy looks nervous. Zaha skips past him, but Duffy gets a foot in. Edouard's there. Wins it back for Palace. The angle's tight. He overruns it, and it's behind for a goal kick.
Just outnumbered there for Zaha. Duffy backs away inside his own box. Eventually gets a big right boot to it. Falls to Edouard, left-hand side of the box. And 3 or 4 Brighton defenders around him.
Edouard's getting the hook. Odsonne Edouard, first start for Crystal Palace tonight, ends after 70 minutes. Christian Benteke will come on to replace him.
Yeah, he's worked hard, Odsonne Edouard. Really pressed the ball well. Hasn't had too much in the way of chances. Had that early shot straight at Sanchez. Wasn't really a chance, more of a half chance. But no, I think he'll do well for Crystal Palace. And Benteke, more of a physical presence, I think, not as mobile as Odsonne Edouard. Come on and play that central striking role, and Kouyaté,
double change.
Middle of the park, yep. Milivojevic comes off.
So that was the switch in the starting lineup tonight. Milivojevic started in place of Kouyaté, but Kouyaté comes on in central midfield. Of course, last season he played most of his football at centre-back. Last season, Benteke actually finished the season brilliantly with 4 goals in his last 4 games. Not been able to get off the mark yet this season.
Did he have 10 Premier League goals last season, Benteke?
Yeah. Started to get more of a chance, didn't he, towards the end of the season. Anderson's ball floated forward. Cucurella heads it away. Lovely dancing feet from Lallana. Pascal Gross caught by Kouyaté. Advantage play. Ball fired across to Moda. Moda looking for Mopé. The pass is beyond him and into the arms of White.
Mopé doesn't have that blistering pace as Moda tries to slide a ball in between the Palace centre-back Anderson and left-back Mitchell, but Mopé not the legs to get there.
Palace 1, Brighton 0.
They haven't done enough Brighton in the final third, have they?
Just going to say that, yeah.
When's he had a big save to make?
The 2 threats, Chris, in the second half with 2 crosses from the right wing, one which Gahey left and one which he had to block. That's been the biggest danger, hasn't it?
I mean, you could have arguably played in goal for Palace.
Could have done, absolutely, Chris.
You struggle on the crosses.
Do you think they put me under a bit of pressure from set pieces?
I think you'd be coming for them, Bruce.
Plays back to Sanchez. I tell you what, Ipswich Town had a great goalkeeper who wasn't the tallest, by the name of Paul Cooper. Do you remember him?
How tall was he?
I'm not sure. I'd have to look that up. He's taller than me.
More than 5'6.5". I can tell you that.
5'8". Rob Diver was saying 5'8". That's my height. What are you laughing at? He was a brilliant goalkeeper.
Yeah,
he was. Yeah. Here's Duffy. 17 minutes to play. Second half. Brighton with a win could go top of the Premier League, but as Chris has just been saying, they're going to have to do more to try and create some chances here. Duffy over the top.
It's a good run.
Looking for the run of Moda. He's onside. Now the ball took a flick on the way through. He's going to let that run and take the corner.
And that's a consequence of the Palace high line, and they're really looking to press Brighton high up the pitch, and they need those runners in behind. Good run from Moda. Welbeck not doing it enough in the second half.
5'11", Paul Cooper, Chris.
Yeah, considerably taller than 5'6.5".
No one's saying 5'6.5", by the way. 29 minutes gone, second half. Corner for Brighton. Trailing 1-0. 4 wins out of 5 so far this season. The only defeat was at home to Everton. But they have scored some late goals. Said that in the first half. So Palace won't be counting their chickens. Bit of cuddling going on in the penalty area there. Danny Welbeck involved. Ball crossed in. Headed away by Benteke. Cucurella chests it down. Sliding challenge on him by Gallagher. Zaha trying to get away. Mopé slides in. Gets his legs in a tangle. Wins the sliding tackle. And the ball goes out for a throw.
Benteke, really dominant header inside his own 6-yard box. And then Gallagher alert as ever. What a signing he's been, actually. I thought he had a really good season. Danny Welbeck down now, yeah.
Danny Welbeck's down. Aaron Connolly's waiting to come on. Good season, what, at West Brom?
Oh, yeah. Thought they did, and smart piece of business from Crystal Palace.
Engineer Rob's just reminded me, Laurie Civil who was another Ipswich keeper but didn't get the games.
Just
because
talking about Ipswich.
No, we're not. But he was 5'8", but still a very good goalkeeper. And I'm going to ask you this question, Chris, while Danny Welbeck receives treatment. Wilfred Zaha has now scored 8 goals against Brighton. So I think in the top flight, I think that is the team that he has scored most against. He loves scoring against. He loves scoring against the local rivals. I hesitate to ask this, and I don't want to ask this in big derby games. Did you ever score against Ipswich?
Yeah, did you?
Did you?
What, did you think I had?
No, I just.
You're asking that like you know I hadn't. Scored a header at Portman Road.
Oh no. Who won?
Bullet header.
Who won?
I think Gary Megson scored an own goal in the last minutes for Ipswich. One we dominated the play as we did back then. Well, Ipswich now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Lucky to stay in Div 1.
We're back underway actually, Chris, so we're going to have to break off there.
Aaron Connolly has gone on. A couple of goals in the week.
Yep, against Swansea. Oh, given away by Cucurella. Terrible challenge by Cucurella. Advantage played. Benteke slides it to Ayew, who's missed. He's hit the side netting. He should have scored. It would have finished the game.
Well, he's got to score. How big an opportunity. How big a miss could that be? It's a really good advantage from Andre Mariner. As Gallagher breaks the other side of the Brighton midfield. Cucurella gets booked. Yeah, he got a yellow card, and then Benteke just slides the ball perfectly weighted into Ayew's path. And he's at a bit of an angle, tries to slide the ball past Sanchez on the near post. Sanchez makes himself big, but there's enough there for Ayew to hit, and that could cost Crystal Palace. It really could.
Yeah.
2-0, effectively game over.
Jordan Ayew, 38 games without a goal, Chris, at the moment. Cucurella on the yellow card now, chips it to Pascal Gross, caught by Ayew. Play continues. Trossard trying to turn Kouyaté, can't get past him. Joel Ward under pressure. Brighton surrounding him, buzzing around him, trying to win that ball back. Joel Ward's on the floor, bodies all around him. Ward picks himself up. Fans absolutely love the effort there. Lewis Dunk gets to that long ball, plays it back to his goalkeeper Sanchez. Sanchez side foots it into midfield, and Brighton will be able to play out from the back.
I tell you what, Graham Potter must be furious with his players. Joel Ward on the deck. There's 3 or 4 Brighton players around him, and somehow it's a miracle he comes out with the ball.
Cucurella forward to Mopé. Mopé's not had much of a sniff in this game tonight. Cucurella stretching for that cross, overhits it beyond Moda. Tyreek Mitchell is able to let that bounce away harmlessly for a throw into Crystal Palace in the left back position.
They have just been awful in the final third, Brighton, but that miss from Ayew, it was such a big opportunity, gilt-edged, had time to pick his spot, perfectly weighted pass from Benteke. I thought Sanchez showed him enough at the near post where he should be scoring that.
Can Brighton make the most of the let-off? Here's Trossard down by the byline, slips, gets the cross in. White is able to intercept that at the near post. Runs out to the edge of his penalty area. He'll be in no rush. 12 minutes to play in the game. Palace 1, Brighton 0. Monday Night Club will be on the Football Daily feed for you on the BBC Sounds app. If you're not already subscribed to that, then do so. Bonus Champions League podcast on that Football Daily thread tomorrow as well. Paris Saint-Germain against Manchester City is our commentary tomorrow night. Manchester United against Villarreal on Wednesday. Saturday 3 o'clock commentary, Chelsea against Southampton. And then we've got 2 games in full view on Sunday on 5 Live's Premier League Sunday. Tottenham Villa and Liverpool and Manchester City from Anfield at 4:30.
He wins so many balls, Gallagher. When they're in possession, just his energy hunts the ball down. They've had good control of this game, Crystal Palace. They really have.
Cucurella takes the throw, gets the ball back from Gross. Gross makes the run down the left. Last touch came off Kouyaté, apparently. Throw in for Brighton. But they've only made 5 yards up the left-hand side. Time is running out, and they've not created enough in the game with this glorious chance to go top of the Premier League tonight, if they can win the game. It looks unlikely, but Palace haven't finished them off. Mopé, little flick round the corner to Gross. Gross to Cucurella. Cucurella. Ayew in front of him. 15 yards inside the Palace half, plays it back to Dunk. Run being made by Veltman on the right. Pass is played slightly behind him. Veltman nods it down. Trossard can't get there. MacArthur flicks it forward to Zaha. Zaha has Brighton defenders desperately chasing him. Trossard, all he can do is shove him over. Zaha was getting away down the left, and Trossard gets booked for his pains.
So that's a mismatch, isn't it? As soon as the ball is overturned and goes to Wilf Zaha, picks the ball up inside his own half, and he's up against Trossard, and you all know what's going to happen. He has pace to burn, a lot of space on the left hand side, and he says, I'm just going to turn this into a foot race. And Trossard, it's see you later, and Trossard brings him down. Palace free kick.
I think that was a rendition of he's just too good for you, or too quick for you. Possibly. Trossard concedes the free kick. Wide on the left for Palace. They're leading the game 1-0. Jordan Ayew having missed a glorious chance to wrap it up in this second half. Conor Gallagher will take the free kick from wide on the left. Patrick Vieira is well outside the technical area at the moment, trying to get his message across. Swung in towards the goalkeeper Sanchez, too close to him. Slings it out over him. It hits the heel of Mopé. Mopé plays it into Gross. That's a lot to ask of Cucurella. Anderson's got the beating of him, gets there. Joel Ward fires it forward. Lallana is able to intercept and gets fouled by Jordan Ayew, and that is a free kick to Brighton. However, the Palace fans make him play.
I did get some of the ball, but he got Lallana as well. I've got to say, as the ball was thrown out from Sanchez and Brighton were breaking out, poor free kick from Gallagher. Just watching Zaha sprint back there. I mean, they are totally committed, the Palace players, as they should be. They have been really impressive this evening.
Duffy up to Moda for Brighton, trailing 1-0. Moda running forward. Trossard takes it off him inside the Palace half, has to play it back to Duffy. Duffy quickly ships it on to Lewis Dunk. Lewis Dunk strides forward, across the halfway line. Plays the ball to Lallana with the outside of his right boot. Lallana quickly onto Veltman on the right. Veltman support from Trossard. Further wide on the right, or wider on the right. Veltman. Trossard continues a run. Manages to beat Zaha to the ball. Two number 11s going at it again. Trossard down. No free kick. Zaha tries to bring it away down the left. Oh, he's strong. He does brilliantly. Zaha tries to release Benteke. Duffy intercepts on the halfway line.
Yeah, Trossard goes down too easily. Another tussle with Zaha. Zaha muscles him. Interesting. Connolly, the position he's taking up on the left-hand side. Not great with his back to goal. Is it? Making runs and looking in behind all the time.
Dunk to Mopé, trying to turn, loses the ball. Gallagher's overrun it. Sliding in on Cucurella, free kick conceded.
This must be a yellow card. He's not going to get away with that.
He was out of control, wasn't he, Chris?
Gallagher. Just as soon as you lunge, or as soon as players lunge these days, you expect the card to come out. Gallagher, heavy touch. Cucurella in for height of the ball, and Gallagher launches himself. Maybe Brighton can make something from a set play. Haven't done enough in open play to hurt Palace.
Palace 1, Brighton 0. Closing stages on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. Chris Sutton with us here at Selhurst Park. Cucurella with his left foot, free kick curled into the far post. Weak header away. Lallana onto it. Lays it back to Veltman. Veltman's cross in, looking for Duffy, headed away by Ward. Veltman chests the ball down. 10 yards inside the Palace half, comes back to his goalkeeper. 6 minutes plus added time remaining. Jeffrey Schlupp waiting to come on for Palace. Long crossfield ball from Gross, nodded down into the penalty area. Guaita says, my ball, sliding out and falls upon it. So Schlupp gets the instructions from Patrick Vieira. It reminds me, I did say in the first half, Chris, obviously you came up against Vieira as a player in that great Arsenal team. Good tussles with him.
Yeah. Yes. I know where you're going here, Bruce.
I love the story though.
He broke my considerable nose, didn't he? And then I got a straight red 10 minutes later for retribution, Bruce.
Did he accidentally? How did he break your nose?
He caught me with an elbow.
Oh. Floated ball from Lallana. Veltman stretches, can't get there, and the ball's behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, and my eyes, I went down and my eyes were watering, and I looked up and he was smiling, Bruce.
Oh, no.
I lost my head, Bruce, as you know I can do.
You must have a tale where you got the better of him as well, though.
No. They're just sad tales.
Oh, Chris, I'm sorry. But we have talked about your amazing goal here, haven't we?
I did play in teams which beat Arsenal, and he was part of the team. But
5 minutes remaining in the game. That's Jordan Ayew who's come off, who should have won this game. Really should have won this game already for Palace.
Remember Schlupp, I may be wrong.
Yeah.
Not playing high up on the right-hand side too many times in his career.
Conor Gallagher trying some fancy stuff on the right-hand side. Fouls Connolly.
Conor Gallagher, he's all action, but doesn't want to get another booking.
Yeah, we could, in fact, get one there. If you knock the ball into him there from the free kick.
I don't like that, Bruce. That's bad sportsmanship.
Well, if you're not backing off, you've got to back off.
Come on.
Lewis Dunk actually got sent off in this game. Last season, late on, remember he lunged. He was trying to get on the end of something in the 6-yard box and just launched himself and caught someone and got a red card. 4 minutes to play. Palace 1, Brighton 0. Palace fans have been in fantastic voice all night. It's the game that obviously both sets of fans are desperate to win the 2 games during the season against the biggest rivals, and at the moment it's going Palace's way. But here come Brighton with Gross to Connolly, bit of space, edge of the area. Trying to think a little ball through. Good tackle. Great tackle by Anderson on the edge of the area. Benteke can't control the pass to him. Veltman plays it out to the right. Jakub Moder. Ball to Trossard. Trossard back to Mopé. Mopé under pressure from Kouyaté. Get in there, says the Palace fan, rather loudly, just sitting beneath us as Gross plays it down the line to Connolly. Gross again, edge of the box. Here's Mopé. Mopé trying to slide one through. Ball bounces back to him. Too many Palace shirts in the way. Brighton can't find a way through. Cucurella's cross in. Beyond everyone. Who's going to get there first? Zaha. For Palace in the left back position. 2.5 minutes to go. He's lost it. Tries to win it back with a tackle. Goal kick.
And do you know what? The last couple of moments we've seen a bit more intent from Brighton, but it just feels like it's too little too late. And why weren't they showing these energy levels earlier on in the half and really pushing Palace back with the team who were behind? Palace have been, it's been a comfortable 1-0 as things go. They should be further ahead. Of course, Ayew missing that opportunity, but at this moment in time, I know they've scored late goals, but it looks too little too late for Brighton. Yeah,
one great chance in the first half when Welbeck got played in by the long ball from goalkeeper Sanchez, headed it forward, just couldn't get the touch he wanted to knock it past Guaita. At the moment it looks like Palace are heading for their second win of the season. It'll be back-to-back wins at home as well, and they've done it in a bit of style under Patrick Vieira tonight, and that's why, as you can tell, as you can hear, Palace fans are singing their hearts out. It'd be a great noise actually if you're walking outside the ground. You can just hear that sort of ringing out in the night sky. 90 seconds plus added time to play. Palace just slowing things down, leading Brighton by a goal to 0 with a win, going 12th in the Premier League table above Wolves, Leicester and Watford. Benteke and Dunk battling for the ball. Might fall for Zaha.
Handball from Kouyaté. Just wondered, but it's a bit late with the whistle there. By Mariner. And as I said a few moments ago, this looks like Brighton's best bet of a goal. Chuck Duffy and Dunk forward, maybe get a delivery, because Palace have been so comfortable defensively. He's played very well, hasn't he? Anderson been very strong.
Free kick about 40 yards out from the left. Pretty sure Pascal Gross were an in-swinger with his right foot. Whistle blows. Gross curls that ball into the penalty spot, headed down straight at Guaita. Duffy's header skipped up off the turf, and Guaita makes the save.
Well, there you go. It's a terrific ball, and it really is, from Gross. Pace and accuracy, and Duffy makes the run and is just put under enough pressure there by Benteke. I think the last touch actually comes off Benteke. And Guaita gathers.
Palace still lead 1-0. Lallana's lost it in midfield for Brighton. Here's MacArthur, releases Zaha on the left-hand side. 5 minutes of added time at the end of the game this Monday night. The goal, a Wilfred Zaha penalty in the last minute of the first half after Conor Gallagher was tripped by Leandro Trossard as he darted into the penalty area. Throw in Crystal Palace in an attacking position on the left. So again, that gets another big roar from the home fans. Tyrick Mitchell throws it to James MacArthur. MacArthur might take this down to the corner flag, try and win a corner. Cross comes in. Duffy has to head it behind for a corner. Exactly what Palace want. And Benteke will obviously be a threat.
MacArthur's had a very, very good game as well, hasn't he? Really given that Palace back line good protection, screened them well. He's got forward at times and made some incisive passes. It's just about running the clock now for Crystal Palace. Gallagher slowly trudges over. He'll play this short.
Yeah, to Benteke. So they're not going to use his height in the penalty area, they're going to use his size, just trying to hold this ball up.
That was awful.
That was awful. It ran straight off his toe and out for a throw. Thrown to Lallana, cleared by Duffy. Up that right-hand touchline for Brighton. Desperate to try and find the equaliser. Minute and a half of added time already played. 3.5 minutes to go. Oh, look at Gallagher getting in the way again. I couldn't get out of the way. Oh no. Come on, sling your up. Free kick Brighton. Sanchez, long diagonal ball downfield. Duffy will chase. Ward beats him in the air. Bounces just outside the Palace box. Here's Benteke again. Tries to knock it past Cucurella. Can't do that. Benteke slips. Cucurella slips. Benteke fouls Cucurella. Play continues. Gross just chips it up into the Palace penalty area. Nodded down. Lallana controls. Flicks it up with his left foot. Moda heads it across goal. Too close to the keeper. And Guaita catches it and falls on it with 3 minutes to play.
They've only really looked to threat Brighton in this second half when Duffy and Dunk have gone forward and they've gone direct. They haven't been able to play through Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace have been too smart, too organised for Brighton.
Palace 1, Brighton 0. Long ball downfield in added time. Dunk heads it away. Kouyate's in to nod it out of play for a Brighton throw on the halfway line. Cucurella. Duffy gone forward.
There's a makeshift striker.
Here we go then.
It amazes me. 2.5 minutes left and they do it.
Yeah. Here we go. Long ball from Dunk to Duffy. Heads it down. Connolly trying to get on the end of it. Shepherded back to his goalkeeper by Ward and cleared by Guaita.
Yeah, do you know what? Yeah. And that's Route 1 football. Good win from Duffy. But Connolly's got to make that movement earlier. Ward did well.
Throw-in taken. Cucurella side puts the ball to Trossard. Trossard to Pascal Gross. Looking to get this cross in again. Gross dummies the cross on his left foot. Back onto his right foot. Cross comes in towards the far post. Guaita punches. Duffy launched himself at the Palace goalkeeper. Guaita's down, holding his left shoulder. Now up on his feet. Palace complained to the referee that was a dangerous challenge from Shane Duffy. The ball eventually went out of play for a throw-in on the far side of the field. Guaita is down on his knees in the 6-yard box.
Do you know what? Let's have a look in the replay. Duffy eyes on the ball. I mean, that's a genuine attempt to play the ball. Guaita gets a big right fist to it, and it's a coming together. I think it's one of those where I think goalkeepers overprotected there. Genuine attempt, genuine challenge from Duffy. Guaita does well, but that's his job, isn't it?
I think the difference there as well, Chris, Duffy's got the momentum because he's running, whereas Guaita's effectively standing still, so he's always going to come off well. I totally agree with you there. I thought that was absolutely fine. Anyway, they've got a free kick. Minute to play. Palace closing in on another win against their great rivals. It'll be 5 games unbeaten for Palace in this particular fixture. All ball forward. Mopé might be onto it with the lob. Gets the equaliser for Brighton in the 95th minute of the game. The Brighton players go absolutely berserk, celebrating with their fans inside Selhurst Park, and Palace have thrown it away right at the death. Palace 1, Brighton 1.
Well, you couldn't make it up. It's actually a really poor goal kick from Guaita. I think he scuffs the kick. Looking down in the technical area, Patrick Vieira, he cannot believe it. and it's a volleyed clearance, and it just goes straight through, and Mopay simply reacts first. I think it's Veltman. Don't know whether one of the Palace defenders leaves the ball. In fact, I think he leaves the ball, and Mopay's alert to it, and I tell you what, he composes himself brilliantly and lobs the ball over Guaita. A precision finish from Mopay. Brighton don't deserve this, but somehow Potter has conjured a draw up.
Brighton fans still celebrating. They haven't had much to sing about tonight. Mopay still celebrating with them. There's a blue flare that's been thrown onto the field that's currently emitting blue smoke, and a load of loo roll as well. And I can see some of the Brighton fans have come running down right to the advertising hoardings and have ended up going over the top, and the stewards are trying to get them back in. I mean, you can absolutely understand the joy. They've not really been in this game in terms of creating chances, but when the chance came, Chris, that was a really cool finish, wasn't it, from Mopay?
Really clinical. It's a really poor error from Guy and Mopay and Zaha having words, but a stunning finish.
Tell you another thing as well, if that free kick had not been given for the Duffy challenge on Guaita wouldn't have had to clear the ball from there, and it wouldn't have ended up in the back of the Palace net. The Palace players cannot believe that this has finished 1-1, and now there's trouble on the field.
MacArthur.
Sanchez and MacArthur going eyeball to eyeball, pushing and shoving, and now their teammates have got to get in and break this up. Coaching staff come running on.
Sanchez is infuriated with something. MacArthur and him were squaring up, and then it's settled down a bit now. It's good that players on both sides getting in the middle.
Tell you what, the referee still wants a word here. The referee is calling players over. Feelings are running extremely high, and that's always going to happen when you get a 95th minute equaliser at the end of a game like this one. It's finished Palace 1, Brighton 1. Just going to see what Andre Mariner decides to do here. Are there going to be any cards issued after the full-time whistle? Zaha from the penalty spot just before half-time, and Palace throwing it away at the end of the game. Poor clearance from Guaita, brilliant volley clearance by Veltman, and then Mopay with a cool lobbed finish for the equaliser. A yellow card was shown. Patrick Vieira is over to calm things down, and after all that, it's a point apiece at Selhurst Park. Palace 1, Brighton 1.